My name is Avery Clinton.
And my name is Mary Matt Snyder.
We did our NHD project on Gabrielle Bonheur Chanel, also known as Coco Chanel.
And we are in the junior age division and chose the category documentary.
Our process paper contains 523 words.
Coco Chanel was a very influential woman in the fashion and the business world.
She was very hardworking and never gave up. She pushed anyone who worked for her to be the best of the best.
Our topic fits the theme triumph and tragedy very well because of the following reasons. Coco had a very tragic and sad childhood, filled with feeling unloved, her mother's death, and being sent away. Yet, she triumphed past her early life and became an influential woman and a fashion designer.
Chanel can be an inspiration to all of us to forget about the bad times and create good times.
Coco Chanel influenced many people based off her lifestyle, her popular designs, and the way she turned a rough early life into an amazing future as a fashion icon and a businesswoman.
Coco Chanel was born in Saumur, France in 1883 into a very poor family. The nuns who ran the poorhouse that she lived in were very kind to her unwed mother, Eugene Jean Duval, a laundress.
Chanel's father, Henry Albert Chanel, was a salesman who was traveling at the time of his daughter's birth. Chanel's mother was not able to support her family, so she pressured Henry into marriage.
Henry and Eugenie got married when Coco was 1 year old. The couple eventually had 4 more children, each born 2 years apart.
During most of Coco Chanel's childhood, she felt unloved by her father. This is most likely because of the fact that Chanel's mother forced him into marrying her.
When Chanel was 11 years old, in the year of 1895, her mother became very sick while her father was away on a business trip. While he was still away, Chanel's mother died.
When her dad came home from the trip, he found her and all of her siblings in the room with her mother's dead body. This must have been a traumatic experience for her and her siblings.
But before the ink could dry on Coco's mother's death certificate, her dad was ready to rid himself of his children. The boys were dropped off with a peasant family who paid the children a small amount of money to keep their household running.
Chanel and her sisters were brought to an orphanage. Wherever she was in the orphanage, she learned how to sew clothing and many other things.
She may have been forced to sew things for the orphanage, yet she fell in love with sewing, and that's how it all started. That's when she knew that she wanted to be involved in the fashion industry.
When she was 18 years old, she was sent to a boarding all-girls school in Moulins. Coco Chanel's fictional stories about her family, however, the stories that she wrote were never published.
While she was at the all-girls boarding school, she found a job to be a seamstress since she already knew how to sew from the orphanage. She also sang in cabarets organized by officials.
She made her first singing career at a cafe. This is whenever she got her nickname Coco. She got it because of the 2 famous songs that she would always sing, Quoi, Vous, Vous, Coco, Coco, and the song Quoi, Vous, Vous, Coco.
Her singing career did not last very long because her vocals were marginal and she often failed to acquire stage work. Whenever Coco Chanel was a teenager, she was also a model.
Coco Chanel was very beautiful. She was very slender and also very charming. Many women, including children, wanted to look like that and be like her.
Whenever she first started to become a teen model, she had already started inspiring and influencing many people because her background life was very hard, and she rose up above it all and put it behind her and started out fresh. Her life had seemed like it had turned around in a completely different direction.
Chanel opened her first boutique in Paris in 1913, followed by another one in the resort town of Duval. In her first stores, she began selling hats and a limited line of garments. Chanel's shops developed with a dedicated clientele who quickly made her practical sportswear a great success for all.
Chanel was one of the first women's clothing designers to make her clothes out of jersey, a fabric more commonly used for men's clothing. She used this because it was cheaper, and at the time she did not have very much money.
At the beginning of the war, Chanel's stores flourished. Her uncluttered styles with her boxy lines allowed women to leave their corsets behind and freed them for practical activities made necessary by the war.
Whenever Coco Chanel was older and a lot more deeper in the fashion industry, she had not only become famous, but she had become a fashion icon, and everyone wanted to be like her. Her slim body, boyish look, pale skin, and bobbed haircut became the style.
By this time, she had influenced many people, including men, women, and children, not just in her country, but in many different places all over the world.
She had also influenced people in the business industry. She was a great businesswoman. She took much pride in all of her designs and made them the best of the best.
She challenged all of her workers to push themselves and work as hard as they could work.
At the time that Chanel had lived, all women never wore pants because of the stereotype that only men can wear pants.
Yet she changed that fashion trend forever. She was the first woman to start this trend.
From then on, many women had continued to wear pants. She also changed the way that women had lived their life back in the time.
Most women wanted to be exactly like her or live very close to her lifestyle. They also wanted to dress like her because she was the most fashionable people at the time.
After Coco Chanel's tragic death, many people were mourning because she greatly influenced people all over the world, not only in the fashion industry, but in the business world as well. Her hardworking attitude that left her past behind her is still influential to anyone in the business world today.
Also, after her death, she made an impact on women's fashion standards. She changed the ideal culture for many women's fashion choices.
She was the first female designer to make pants for women. They were comfortable and classy. This triumphed women and made a dent in the fashion world.
Coco Chanel influenced many people all over the world because of her lifestyle, her breathtaking designs, and her never-quitting attitude, personality, and how she turned a poor early life into a wealthy future full of fame and success. Coco Chanel had a very hard-working lifestyle that influenced many people all over the world to never stop working hard or to accomplish their dreams.
She influenced many people because of her amazing clothing, hats, perfume, and many other things. She also influenced many people to never give up and push others to be the best as a person and what they do.
Lastly, she had turned a poor and depressing early life into a bright future that can teach everyone and anyone to never lose hope, give in, or to keep on dreaming. In conclusion, Coco Chanel was a very influential person whom we can all be inspired by even 47 years after Coco Chanel's death.